Dear OSCE Chairperson in Office, dear colleagues, it is my honor to participate in this important event on behalf of the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly. As you might be aware, following our annual session in Vancouver last July, I have proudly taken up the duty of the Assembly's President, and I truly look forward to cooperating with all OSCE structures and all of you. Dear colleagues, the OSCE is faced with unprecedented political challenges. However, I am pleased to see that the North Macedonian chairpersonship pays great attention to the critical topics of gender equality and women's empowerment. On one hand, it is natural that the organization's focus has shifted to addressing the immense repercussions the war in Ukraine has on the entire region. On the other, we must be aware that there are many vital topics, including gender equality, that must not be neglected. Doing so would be a step back in the significant progress that all participating states have made in the past decades. Dear colleagues, I am looking forward to learning more from your experienced speakers throughout the conference. At the same time, I would like to provide you with a parliamentary perspective of the topic and tell you more about different tools that we, as parliamentarians, can use to promote gender equality. Advocating for gender equality has always and will continue to be one of the main priorities of the OSCE-PA. I strongly believe that while actively working with OSCE participating states and their parliaments, we ought to lead by example. In this regard, I am happy to inform you that in July, OSCE-PA has adopted amendments to its rules and procedures aimed at improving gender equality among its active members. According to our amended rules, gender equality shall be taken into account when appointing chairs and members to ad hoc committees. This reaffirms our long practice and will maintain moment and avoid any backsliding. Furthermore, in recent years, the PA has adopted numerous resolutions focusing on gender equality and women's empowerment. Having in mind important developments in the OSCE region, as well as relevant international standards, the resolutions provide concrete recommendations and can thus serve as guidance for the national parliaments when drafting new and amending existing laws and policies. Our resolutions recognize the excellent work done by various OSCE offices on gender equality. We appreciate the OSCE's services both to regular people and to parliaments and governments. They are all available on our website. The Parliamentary Assembly has also, since the beginning of the year 2000, appointed its own special representative on gender issues, who has taken a leading role in promoting gender equality within the OSCE region. The special representative monitors and reports to the Assembly on the gender equality situation within OSCE institutions and field missions, the OSCE region and the Assembly, and issues regular reports. For example, the 2023 annual report focuses on addressing gender consequences of the war in Ukraine. More specifically, it looks at how the war has affected women's economic livelihoods, health and education outcomes, care responsibilities and personal security. The OSCE-PA has also established an informal gender network in July 2022. Through informal interactions among parliamentarians and experts, the network aims to identify areas where gender progress has been made, along with the key obstacles in realization of gender equality in the OSCE region, as well as within the OSCE-PA and other OSCE structures. For example, I have been pleased to discuss with parliamentary colleagues the legislation that we apply in my home country, Finland. Among other key points, we require that the proportion of both women and men must be at least 40% in planning and decision-making bodies of central and local government. The equality rule is applied to executive or administrative bodies of agencies and institutions if they exercise public authority, including, for example, chambers of commerce and educational institutions. Effectively, Finland's Equality Act obliges every employer and public bodies to promote gender equality in a purposeful and planned way. I find the direct sharing of such approaches within the OSCE is a powerful tool for expanding gender equality in the region among decision makers. Finally, as an assembly, the OSCE actively works on the topic of gender equality with other OSCE institutions, especially with the OSCE Office for Democratic Institutions and Human Rights and the OSCE Representative on Freedom of the Media. I am particularly proud of the joint publication that OSCE and ODIHR issued last year on participatory gender audits of parliaments, a step-by-step guidance document. We are also currently conducting joint research on specialized parliamentary bodies for gender equality. Similarly, with the representative on freedom of the media, we work closely on the topic of safety of female journalists and politicians. We will no doubt hear more about the OSCE's work on gender equality and women's empowerment today and tomorrow. This work has real and positive consequences on people throughout the region. We cannot allow this impactful work to become a casualty of continued disagreement on unrelated issues, such as the OSCE budget or leadership of the organization. Dear colleagues, to conclude, the OSCE has numerous instruments that can help bring forward issues of importance for the OSCE and for our societies, including those related to promoting gender equality. Our Assembly and its International Secretariat stand ready to further cooperate with all OSCE structures. After all, it is harmonized and well-coordinated efforts that make our work more effective and more efficient. I would like to stop here and reiterate my full support to the chairpersonship in office and thank you for prioritizing this important topic. I look forward to the exciting sessions and wish everyone a successful conference. Thank you.